It's the Brunch Breakdown. Didi out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh. Today on the show, we have a lot to get to. We're going to be talking Blackberries because Eminem still uses one. Somehow, I don't know. Rich people can do lots of things. A restaurant in Atlanta is adding a live band cover charge to everyone's bill. Yeah. Donald Trump has sneakers and Cam Newton got into a fight. Lots going on the Brunch Breakdown. Dan, let everyone know where they can find the Brunch Breakdown.
Where else in the literal world can you find the content you just listed down all in one place? Nowhere, people, except right here on the Brunch Breakdown. Episodes available anywhere podcasts are available. It's that simple. New episodes come out each and every Wednesday. Just hit follow or hit subscribe wherever you're listening. That beautiful episode is going to come to you wrapped up in a nice little package, ready for you to listen to starting Wednesday each and every week. We have full video episodes as well. Those premiere on our YouTube and our Facebook page at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific every Wednesday. On demand anytime you want to watch after that. And as we've been telling you, videos now available on Spotify whenever I get around to them. So you can check them there. They're the same place that you find the audio, the videos there as well. You can watch it right on your phone. We're everywhere on social media at Brunch Breakdown, Facebook, X, Instagram. Damn it. I was so good for a couple of weeks in a row. The streak is over.
Wow.
Start, cut, re-edit, start it again. Threads, Triller, TikTok. I have to maybe reorder those.
Yeah, you do.
The too many T's in the row. That sets me up for failure every time. You can find little brunch bites there. That's what we call them, little video episodes, so recaps, highlights the previous episode this week. And of course, we give you music each and every week, and we put it together in a beautiful little playlist. We call it The Sounds of Brunch, and you can find that updated exclusively on Spotify every Friday.
Yes, you can.
Is anybody even on Threads? Let us know. Because maybe we could just remove that because
Instagram they want you to know that people want to hear from you on Threads. And they're like, so-and-so wants to hear from you on Threads. Do they? Are they there? I don't think they do.
Even in my Instagram, my main feed, there'll be these little thumbnail images of a thread that somebody posted that I follow, and it's go check this out on Threads. I think everybody went to Threads for 2 weeks, and now everybody just went back to X or Twitter or whatever we're supposed to call it.
I will happily exit from the list. I will happily do that.
Let us know if anybody
trouble pronouncing it.
If anybody follows us and actually interacts with stuff on Threads, let us know on Threads. Otherwise,
yes,
2 weeks, Dan is removing that from the rundown.
I love it. Let's go. Set the date.
Smart. Very smart. Boys, we have a little bit of we have a brunch, let's call it a brunch callback to last week that I want to get to really before we get to get it off our chests. Okay. So it came to light this week because of a Instagram post shared by Savannah James that her and LeBron James went on their first date to Outback Steakhouse in Akron. And now that Outback is closing. Does that deserve a candlelight vigil?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Far more than the Hooters in West Virginia. That one of all places. And don't forget, we'll set it up. And bring your own candle because them shits is expensive. That's all you got to know. Just be there.
I like to think of it as there's some landmarks around Pittsburgh here where it's the home plate of Forbes Field is still preserved, and the I think the home plate at Three River Stadium, it's still mapped out in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. I think maybe they tear down the whole Outback but leave the booth.
Ooh. I love that.
Okay. I like where you're at.
And
I like that.
Put it in a casing,
Yeah, I like that. Put it in the casing. Just keep it right there. In the same shopping center complex, just the booth.
Yeah.
Just bronze
Dip it in gold. Bronze it in gold like you would when you're saving a rose or something like that. That's what you do. Little plaque right there. Pay your respects to the king and the queen right there. I love that. I love that.
I'm into it. All right, Chris, get it off your chest.
All right. So here's another brunch callback. And then I'm going to go into something new and I'll make this as short as I can. But after my chess segment last week about how listening to books is not reading books. Yes. I found out that my wife actually does this and she listens to books and tells people that she read them. And so I did not know what I was going to create in my household, but it's been a week. Okay. So we discussed it, and I got her. I got her to identify the mistake that she's making, because
Okay.
she was like, I read 20 books a year. And I was like, you read 20 books a year? She's like, well, I read 10 of them and I listen to 10 of them. And she's like, actually, normally what I do is I'm reading a book and listening to a book at the same time. And I said, you just said, okay, so you're caught in your own lie, because you just told me that you read one and listen to one. But then you go and you tell people that this week I read 2 books. It's disingenuous. And I don't like it. So that I'm married to a liar is basically what I'm getting at here.
Wow.
Yeah. Just wanted to put that out there.
I saw that and I was worried for you.
Yeah, I was like, is this where he came up with this? And he just
Yeah.
needed to, voice his opinion, but you didn't even know.
No, I did not know.
You just started something, in fact, is what you did.
Yes, correct. And I actually,
Wow.
My wife commented on that post on
She
Instagram.
did.
And I knew, because I got a notification. It's like, Chris, somebody commented on a post you're tagged in. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I go and it's like, oh, it's my wife. Oh, she is the thing that I said I don't like. Okay, this is a problem. And so we've been talking about it all week. But I'm hoping to change that behavior.
She also commented on Threads, but nobody saw it, just to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did it on Threads first and was like, wait, why didn't they respond? Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so last week I was like, reading or fast food. So I'm going to do the fast food one today. I want to start by asking you guys a question, which I like to do with these. What is your favorite fast food restaurant?
Bojangles.
Raising Cane's.
Okay.
Ooh, competitors. Okay.
Ooh, spicy.
Spicy.
How long would you be willing to wait in a drive-through line for that food?
I mean, I've waited a really long time.
It doesn't matter that you have. That doesn't mean that it was worth it. I'm saying, what is the maximum amount of time you'd be willing to wait for your favorite fast food on earth in your car in a drive-through line?
35 minutes.
I'm thinking 25. 20. Probably 20.
I hate both of your answers so much. Okay. They just put in a Raising Cane's down the hill from me, which is, Dee Dee said, that's your favorite.
The best.
People in this area, for the most part, are trying it for the first time. Okay. So the vast majority of these people, it's going to turn out to actually not be their favorite fast food, because it just wouldn't turn out that way. Okay. The line for this place is so unbelievable. I have to drive by it when I go to pick up my kids. I do a 15-minute drive to daycare. And when I come back to bring my kids home, I still see some of the same cars sitting in the drive-through line. There is no fast food on earth that is worth sitting in your car for that long. It's just not worth it. Like, go in and buy it. Get off your ass, go in and buy it. It'll be a lot quicker, first of all. But like, think about that. Like, you're waiting that long. And then you still have a drive home, unless you're going to sit in the parking lot and eat in your car. And if you're going to do that, just go into the damn restaurant and buy it and eat it in there. But like, you're waiting that long, and then you're going to drive home, take it with you in your car, eat it at home after like at least another 10 to 15 minutes driving to your house. So you're not even going to get the best possible version of that product, because it's sitting in the bag, like, cooling off and getting soggy. Like, I don't understand. I do not understand the psychology of waiting that long to eat fast food. I don't get it. And it's not because it's like, oh, fast food is unhealthy. That's not my point. There's fast food that I like, and there's fast food that I would be willing to wait for. I'm not willing to wait for longer than 15 minutes for any fast food. It's not worth it to me to do that. Do you understand how much food I can make at my house in that same amount of time? That is also delicious. Like, it's just not worth it to do that. I don't get the psychology of people willing to wait in line in your car for largely food that you're going to consider to be mediocre, soggy, and stale by the time you eat it. I don't get it.
Well, you haven't had Raising Cane's.
No,
And
no,
listen,
no.
you just haven't. You haven't had it. Chris, I'm sorry. If you have Raising Cane's, the last thing you're going to think about is I can make that at my house. You can't. You just can't. I'm telling you right now, you can't. Also, here's the hack with Raising Cane's, because the lines are ridiculous everywhere Raising Cane's is, okay? You just you mobile order that shit and go pick it up inside. It's just sitting right there. Go pick it up inside.
And so
Everybody, and you just walk past the drive-through. Everybody looks stupid over there, and you just go inside and do it. But
that's a great tip. And so my critique is less about the establishment and more about you choosing to use your time and then like the end result of that time you spend.
oh, I get it. I get what you're saying. I got it. But I'll wait for it. I will wait for you.
Chris, I think there is
Is that
one.
what they wrote that song about?
I think there is one fast food item that you'd be willing to wait longer than that for. And that's, of course, the brand new pizza that we just brought up last week on Brunch Court. That, my friend, is worth waiting 20, 25 minutes. And I think that's how I kind of came up with my figure of like 20 to 25. Have you ever been through a Chick-fil-A drive-through? Minimum 15 minutes.
Yeah,
minimum.
I don't even do it anymore. Because it's so ridiculous.
No, it's pointless. It's dumb. And in fact, they've like re-engineered them, 2 lanes with different windows, and they have people. It's not a window anymore. They walk the food out to you. It's a door. It's crazy. But I'm like, well, that's kind of a minimum. Like that's as long as I'd be willing to wait. But Bojangles, I mean, you got to add on some time for Bojiggity. And of course, the chizza. All day for a chizza. Let's go.
Shockingly, there's no line at the KFC over here.
No mad rush for the chizza after daycare. No.
How do they not have like a big chizza sign with the arrow outside of there, just trying to get people, hey?
I mean, even after we talked about it on the Brunch Breakdown, I drove by there, did a little recon, tried to see what's going on. Nothing. Nothing. We gave that as big of a push as we could. Nothing.
Come on, people.
Dan, get it off your chest.
Well, I'm going to ask a question similar to how you did there, Chris. Gentlemen, how would you rate your parallel parking skills on a scale of 1 to 10?
Bro, 10 years ago, it was a 10. Now it's like 6 to 7. It's a skill. It's a skill. And if you stop doing it, you lose it.
Yeah.
I have had a backup camera at my disposal for the past 4 years almost. So I'm pretty legit now. But before that, I mean, I guess it depends on where I was living at the time. Here, I don't have the parallel park. When I was driving, figuring out things through Pittsburgh and going to the South Side and going to Oakland and all those things, yeah, it was definitely like an 11. Like I don't know how I was putting my car in certain places when I was, between those years of like 2008 and 2013, I was making magic happen.
Hasten it. Well, we need more of that, because if you're simply between the ages of like 18 and, I don't know, 55, you should know how to parallel park in an area where parallel parking is common. Because the amount of people that can't do this task, which is quite literally required to pass your driver's license test, is absolutely embarrassing. And I've seen enough of it. Where it has to be brought to the attention of the nation, of the world, here on this podcast. Because there are so many parts of big cities, even, small towns or even neighborhoods, where somebody has a single car garage, one driveway, and you have to park on the road, and it's busy parking on the road. There's no garage parking, no driveways. You have to park on the road. Small towns, big towns, I don't want to hear it. It's everywhere, right? I continually, so many dumbass drivers who like go in it. They start off, you set yourself up for failure. You're not far up enough. You're going at the wrong angle. You think you have it. Then you end up sticking out halfway over the line, and then you just keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then inadvertently, they just like give up, and then they end up going to park somewhere else where they can pull straight in. Now, I brought this up on the podcast before, where I think that once you turn 65, you should be retested for your driver's license every 5 years after that. Okay. I've stood on that podium for many, many years and brought it up on early, maybe single digit episodes of the Brunch Trip Breakdown. But here's the thing. It's not just older drivers. If you're in like that 18 to 55 and you can't parallel park, call an Uber, get off the road, go park in the garage, get out of the way. You're embarrassing. This is it is a skilled task. I will grant you that, Chris. It does take some skill. But skill that you mastered at 16 years old, just keep it fresh. Just do it. Challenge yourself every once in a while. When you have the option to maybe go in the garage or parallel park, be like, I need to keep this skill fresh or I'm going to lose it. Okay? Give yourself a little bit more practice. Parallel parking, there's no reason why everybody shouldn't be able to do this, or let the experts park in your spot. Please and thank you.
Dude, it's weird to me that like less people, like kids aren't worried about getting their license anymore.
Yeah, that's
they're not in a rush to do it, right?
They're just not in a rush. Like it was like for us, it was like as soon as I turned 15, I had to get
my birthday.
As soon as
yeah.
My dad came and got me out of school. We had a basketball away game on my birthday. My dad came and got me out of school at 9 o'clock, and we went and got my license. Like now, kids are like, yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Weird. That leads to your parallel parking problem.
Yeah, I was actually stuck behind somebody trying to parallel park yesterday at church. And in this situation, they were just trying to pull in front of a car, but not like try to fit behind a car. There was no car in front.
Okay.
And they tried for like 3.5 minutes and couldn't figure it out and then just left.
How old?
I'm guessing probably pretty old because they were trying to park right near the front of the church, which is where the old people park. And it's kind of like understood like, hey, you leave these open over here. But then they just quit. I don't even know if they went to church. They might not have even gone. They might have just left.
Yeah. The pull in is a dangerous move unless you're confident that you've got the plenty of room. Careful with the pull in because then you think you can fix it and you can't. That's how you end up doing the back and forth. I'm over the line. And then sometimes they just leave it. And you're like, you're going to get sideswiped. That mirror's coming off. You're screwed. It's embarrassing. If you think I'm talking about you, I am.
You're the problem.
Fix it. Go behind the driver's license center and practice there where they actually do the tests. Practice there with the cones. Okay. Sharpen your skills, people. It's embarrassing. Thank you. Didi, get it off your chest.
All right. I got to get this off my chest. So I freelance, right? I do not work for anyone. I work for a bunch of people and I freelance. So this time of year is the worst time of year because it's tax time. So all I keep getting are all of these tax forms, all of these 1099s. Nice. And I'm very blessed that I work a lot. So therefore I have all these things coming in. But there has to be an easier way to do this than to keep track of a ridiculous amount of paperwork. Like it's insane how much paperwork I have in these drawers over here that I'm trying to keep track of. As every time the mail comes in, there's another 1099 that comes in, another one that comes in, something. Then people are hitting me up on the internet and they're like, "Oh yeah, this one's electronic. You got to bring it in so that I can give it all to my tax lady." And I just feel like it's all done by my social security number, my address, all of these things. I should just be able to go to one place and it's all right there. And then I just print that out, give it to the tax lady, and it's done. Like, I don't know why I have to hand somebody all of this paperwork for something that is controlled completely by my social security number. Because if I forget one of these, they will find me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like just because if I just like, oh yeah, didn't feel like printing that one out, they're not gonna, do anything. No. They will find me a year later and be like, you owe this money plus this because you didn't pay it. So like, why can't I just go to the IRS website and be like, yo, this is my social security number, just like you do like student loans and shit. It's like, here it is. All your information's right there. Print that out. That's what you did for the year. And I don't understand why it's this hard in 2024. It's very annoying. I just get that off my chest.
No, dude, it's like, why did it take so long for medical records to be digitized and become digital? Like every single time you went into even the same doctor, they asked you the same questions. It's like, don't you have this chart already? How big is that folder getting? And they're finally become digital now where they can share it across different offices. Same thing here. 1099. Here they are. Here's the information for every single one. It just adds to the document rather than a complete waste of an individual 1099 each and every time. I am with you. I am with you.
The government should just send you a bill because they already know.
Bam. That's it.
Yeah, they already know. It's ridiculous. In owning my own business, I have to pay now taxes every month, and then at the end of the year, I do another round of taxes, which is like I just don't. It's too much. Like it's just too much. How much money are you going to take from me? It's too much. And like, oh, every time I do it, I have to also figure out how to pay you my money. Like I absolutely hate it. But Didi, I have heard that one way to really simplify the process is if you just had one job and you worked at Raising Cane's, they would give you just one form. You could just work at Raising Cane's and it would be so much simpler. And you'd probably get free fast food.
Oh,
that's very true.
Might be worth it.
Something to think about this tax season.
I talked to Siobhan about that one. See if this is worth it. Worth it.
Like I've had a good run. Thinking about hanging it up, working at Raising Cane's. What do you think? What do you think?
I just love their food so much.
What are you gonna do there? What are you gonna do there? I'm directing the drive-through line. They just need some traffic support out there. You know, a little overflow.
Cash
out there.
Cash flow engineer. You're what? I'm at the cash register.
My favorite part of being inside Raising Cane's is like whenever someone's orders up, they're like, hot chicken for Chris. Hot chicken for Chris. It's like they're like, and they scream hot chicken and your name, and that's when you know your order's up.
It's great. I love that.
Is there a role better designed for Daniel Dudley?
I mean,
you've been on the mic your whole life.
True,
dude.
No more 1099s. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I think we're done here. There you go. That's the solution to my problem.
That's it.
This is why the brunch breakdown is a terrible influence on anyone. Yeah, get rid of your 1099s. Just go to work in fast food.
Yep.
I like it. I like it. Also, Chris, if you need some business advice, if you go to H&R Block Advisors on YouTube, you will see a very friendly gentleman giving you lots of advice on LLCs and different things like that. So I'll send you the link.
Same handyman over here. You really want to trust that advice. Right
Didi, I'm at no shortage of you popping up in my YouTube. Okay, I don't need to go looking for it. You're already there. Thank you.
It's not even surprising anymore.
I know.
Like, gosh, again.
Can we stop? You're that guy. You know when people like you're watching a video and you get to the point where like the thing is about to happen and they're like, we're gonna stop for a minute and a half and roll all these ads. Didi's that guy that you're just like, can't I skip it? Damn it, I want to skip. But I have to look at your face.
You got a real skippable face.
Truer words, Dan, have never been spoken. Unbelievable.
There's a shirt right there.
That's a shirt.
Get your mug on it. Skippable face. Just the arrow, the skip arrow, like under the YouTube video.
I used to think face for radio was bad. Now skippable face.
Yeah, right.
That one.
This is the new one.
That one. Good God. All right. Let's get into Bruce Day. Chris, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking coffee, boys. I don't know, you might not think it's a fun fact, but so there were 29 days in February. So that's 63. It's been 70 days since I've had any alcohol. Not for any reason in particular, not because I'm trying to like dry January this shit or like and prove a point. I just haven't had alcohol in a really long time. And it's been this.
Your post made it sound like you were kind of Larry Fitzgeralding it. Like you're like, I'm retiring, but like, you know, not officially. Like I'm done with alcohol, but like I'm expecting a knock at the door some point.
Yeah, dude.
And I'll
like
tinker.
The way I see it is like if I get together with you boys, we're having beers, right? Like if there's like an event that happens, I'm going to a wedding, I'm gonna have some beers and celebrate, do whatever. But it's like the random like drink watching a Penguin game on a Tuesday night. Like I just don't. It doesn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form. So I'm just like picking my spots, and haven't had a spot to pick in a while. so here we are.
Stay clear of that alcohol, and that mouthwash though. You get a little stumbly going to bed if you,
I
keep it
know.
out of your system too long.
Buddy, don't I know?
Drunk goggles,
Yeah.
mouthwash. Look
Don't
out.
accidentally swallow that shit.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Have some,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
dreams. Have some weird dreams.
All right. What I'm sipping on, Kona Brewing Company, Island Hopper
hell yeah.
IPA. I
Hell yeah.
absolutely love this beer. I love Kona Brewing. Pretty much everything they have is great. I love their blonde. I love everything about it. Also, Kona's just, I don't know, really good. So just shouts to Kona just for being the greatest. But the Island Hopper IPA is what I was drinking last night. So shouts to Kona.
Love Kona. Excellent pick. Excellent pick. Well, Chris, don't worry. I've made up for this for you because I don't have this here with me now because it's early. But the other night, I had a liter of beer because when in Rome, right? And I was at Golden Age Beer Company, which is a brewery in Pittsburgh that focuses on lagers, which isn't really a thing. And shouts to them for embracing lagers, German-style beers, that type of thing. They've got Czech Pilsners, German Pilsners. It's wonderful. Ton of lagers there. And I had their premium lager, just one of their best. Clean, malty, just the right amount of sweet. And I had the tall boy. I went with a liter because, like I said, when in Rome, and it was delicious. And sometimes, it's fun to talk about the marshmallow beers and the peanut butter chocolate beers and all that fun stuff. But sometimes just a nice, clean, properly brewed micro lager. I hope you followed all of that because I'm not talking about Coors Banquet, for crying out loud, something that's brewed locally, with the local water. Okay. That's an important part too. Cause I got spoiled with that in London. They have like the cleanest beers. It's like beer you can drink a lot of and not feel an effect of. It has to do with the water and the brewing process, etc. So it's nice to go to a place like this and have a liter of beer and not say, this is going to be a mistake. Like, I'm going to regret this later. It didn't feel that way. It was nice. It was very clean, rather refreshing, honestly. And shouts to Golden Age, man. I'd be there a lot more frequently if they were a little bit closer. And they're not always easy to find. So shouts to them and their premium lager. She was tall and she was delicious.
So it's Golden Age Brewing. Is that the name?
Golden Age Beer Company, I think, is the official name. Yeah, they're in Homestead.
Homestead. All
A
right.
absolute gorgeous tap room too. The aesthetic, even the colors. Chris, I don't know if you've actually probably seen it, maybe out in the wild somewhere. They made a Pitt style shirt. It's in Pitt script. It's blue with the yellow script, but it says Pils, Pils.
Oh, I have seen
in
that.
the same. Okay, so that's theirs. That's Golden Age. Yeah,
all right.
it's wonderful.
Nice.
They've embraced. Yeah, and their colors are kind of Pitt colors. Like I said, beautiful tap room. They have really good food there. Yeah, out in Homestead, it's a wonderful, wonderful establishment.
I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chris, since you are on your alcohol sabbatical, which is fine, I need you to start brewing something else. Do you make smoothies?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
You
Yeah,
brew
actually,
them?
pretty regularly. What do
You do?
think, Sam?
Nice. Do you have a blend jet?
I have a Vitamix.
Oh, geez. Skippable.
Okay, you should have a blend jet because
Oh, I saw
this
this
ad. Skip
ad,
this ad.
BD. Jesus
Skip this
Christ.
ad.
You know,
Skip
do they
this ad.
require you to
Skip
do
this
this?
ad.
Do they require you to do this outside of the ad? You're already, come on.
Are you including the brunch breakdown on your 1099
if
right
you-
now?
if you
Because
don't
I'll tell you
have-
what.
If you don't have a discount code to end this sentence, you better stop it right now, okay?
Honestly, when I upload these videos to Spotify, it asks if there are, advertisements and promotions in it, and I usually hit no. I think I had to hit yes this week, and I'm sure I'll have to fill out a 1099 for crying out loud.
Yeah, don't get us wrapped up in your bullshit, okay?
all right. Okay, it's just a suggestion. You can literally make it in your car. It goes on the road with you. It's great. USB connects with.
I think you should
Great.
know from my rant that I'm not trying to have food in the car, okay?
Just saying.
Yeah, just drive by Raising Cane's and be like, "Hey, what's up, suckers? Made this in the car."
Yeah, this is my
And then on the way
solution.
back, here's another one. Round 2. Still waiting, I see. Still waiting.
Oh, are you waiting with nothing, you idiots? Look at me. Look at me. I got a blend jet. Discount code DD is bored. God almighty.
Oh, I love this podcast. Let's get into the main menu, boys.
Let's do
Here
it.
we go. Let's do it. Donald Trump has sneakers.
What a segue. There's the segue of the year.
There's no way to get into that any other way than just saying it out loud.
Dive right in.
Donald Trump introduced sneakers at SneakerCon like a couple weeks ago for $399. It is called the Never Surrender. It's gold. It's a Donald Trump sneaker. Boys, indulge.
Bro, he was like sold out of pre-orders immediately. It was a limited amount. You could have sold them shits for way more expensive. You could have sold them for way more because it was a limited amount, and they went like that. They look like what Michael or LeBron should have worn for the Toon Squad in Space Jam. Like, that's what they look like they're from. Because they have don't they have a T on them? It's like almost like a cartoon looking T.
Yes.
It looks like Toon Squad sneakers.
The T looks like something you could like find at Michael's. And it's just got the adhesive back on it, and you just stick it on the shoe. And then it was just it was like a shoe that had an American flag around the back, and then it was just spray painted gold. Like, I guarantee that gold flaky starts to, with the bend of the shoe, starts to chip off in after a few wears. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. It's for $399. It's a rather cheap looking shoe.
It does look like the shoe that, like, you know, there's always that person who's like extra at the holidays, you know, like on like, especially like 4th of July, you know, and they just like, they get a shoe, an old shoe, they like spray paint it red, white, and blue or whatever. Like, that's what that shoe looks like to me. It just looks like something that, hell, because it's Donald Trump, like, if you know it's probably a stolen idea, I'm sure somebody made a shoe that looked like that on the campaign trail in like 2016. And somebody took a picture of it and he was like, that's it right there. There you go. Make them.
Yeah.
Well, here's my question for you guys. And you have to pick one, okay? Which one are you more likely to wear? The red hat or the Trump shoes? Because this dude is like,
why do we have to pick this?
this dude, because this is unbelievable. Like, he has created these like branded items for himself that look like, Dan said, Michael's for the T. The Trump hat looks like he like just plugged it into a generic website, you know, and like some lady in like Arkansas stitched it on the hat. Like, it looks ridiculous, but it became like a trademark. I feel like these shoes are going to become his. I bet you he walks out into a debate with these ridiculous shoes on. So if you had to choose one for a day, which one would you choose? The red hat or the Trump shoes?
Oh God.
Gun to your head. You got to choose one.
Oh, shoes. Because it's just got a T on them. It'll be like, what's the T for there? Teddy Roosevelt. These are old schools. These are old school shoes. Big Teddy Roosevelt fan here over here. T for Teddy. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Toon Squad, like you said, Toon Squad. Oh, these are the ones in Space Jam that didn't make it. These are one of one. The Toon Squad. USA sneaker.
It's the shoes because you can maybe everybody won't notice the shoes. Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
They're pretty out there. Dude, if the sun reflects off those things, everybody's looking at your feet.
Yeah. Oh, that's such an awful would you rather question. Oh my God. But yeah, I guess the hat is right in somebody's face. Like,
can I wait in line at Raising
Cane's instead? Dan's gonna just stay in your car all day. Well, Dan kind of stole my thunder. What I was gonna propose is to wear the shoes but on that day you have to wear them by the full Toon Squad jersey and shorts.
Okay, there you go.
And
Yeah.
walk around in them so that people don't even think it's Trump shoes. They're like, oh, he's some maniac dressed up as the Toon Squad today.
There you go.
That's what I would do.
There you go.
Good God, that's terrible. Because like he like basically ruined the red hat. Like if you wear a red hat of any kind, someone automatically thinks you're wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you see him from behind, it's red. You're like, oh, that's
like,
what I think it is. Is that what I think it is?
No, you.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay, on Wisconsin, got it. But like, dude, God,
Wow.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Would you rather? But damn. Well, let us know at Brunch Breakdown, the sneakers or the MAGA hat. Which one? Let us know. All right. Speaking of people who've been popular our basically whole lives, Eminem still uses a BlackBerry. This was from a picture that was posted by frequent collaborator DJ Who Kid. And yeah, are you surprised by this? Because I'm not. Because I feel like Eminem is just constantly living in the state of 1999. That is where he lives. That is where he's at.
I'll tell you what was surprising is when you honestly were listing, going over the menu at the beginning of this episode, you said we're talking blackberries. And I thought I wasn't covered on this. Why are we talking fruit? What did Chris throw in last minute that I didn't get on the menu? We're talking blackberries. But yes, phone, Eminem, phone. BlackBerry, the phone. I'm like, blackberries? Why are we talking fruit? What is most surprising is that BlackBerry shut down their servers in 2022.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? My thought is, knowing that he's using the BlackBerry to strictly for lyrics, and he's using it to write lyrics.
Oh.
And I think because it's like a keyboard, he probably has been using it for 20 years. And he's got this collection of notes on there that he doesn't and maybe can't transfer to another phone. And so he's just keeping the BlackBerry and he's just writing lyrics, because if the BlackBerry servers are down, if anybody that could be like, listen, you're going to keep this on just for me, Eminem's in the short list. But that's my thought. That's why he still has one and is using one, is maybe he's keeping his lyrics in there.
Yeah, or just he's got a snake game that he's really into. I did a lot of digging on this to find out if a BlackBerry phone still can be utilized even though the servers are off. Like, can it be triangulated with something else?
Yeah.
In almost everywhere. I will read this from what I found. The old school smartphone has been laid to rest. If you have a phone that runs on a BlackBerry operating system, you will no longer be able to send text, get data, or make phone calls. Verbatim, everywhere I looked. It was like I stopped after 10 different articles. So yeah, Dan, I think that makes more sense than anything I was able to come up with.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. And also,
what did you come up with?
Unhackable.
Snake Tetris. I don't know.
That was okay. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, unhackable.
Yeah, it's unhackable. So because if you hack into someone's iPhone, you get all their notes. People write things. I write millions of things in my notes app all the time. So I guess for Eminem, maybe it's just a safe place for him to write lyrics. That's genius.
Is that where you hide your discount codes, Didi?
That's fair. Yeah. And Chris, I'm kind of glad that amongst all your research, you didn't find a way that there's a loophole that this could have been somehow connected to some other server network or something like that, because I was affected by the AT&T outage last week and had no phone for almost 8 hours. I was like, can't we turn another switch on? Can we hook up to another network here, please? I literally don't have a phone. And if you'd have been like, you know what, a BlackBerry can stay alive if you do this, I'd have been like, this is maddening. This is maddening. In 2024, I didn't have a phone for 8 hours because they couldn't figure out the code, or they couldn't do something else. Like, come on. So I guess I'm a little bit glad that there's no loophole. There's no way around it. But that's all I could come up with is lyrics. He's writing it still.
Shout out to BlackBerry, though. I didn't even realize they were still around in 2022. That's more staying power than I thought they had.
It's a late run.
Dude, me either. And Dan, you got your $5. Big shouts to you. AT&T's giving
Oh yeah,
everybody
big time.
$5.
Yeah, thanks AT&T. $5. They don't even
Hey.
tell you that in the email. They're like, "Oh, a little savings coming your way." I'm like, "Oh, log in. What do we got? $5. Thank you, thank you so much, AT&T. Really valuable. Really valuing your customers. I'd been better off with a Raising Cane's coupon, something like that. Like,
Oh,
hook me up with
yeah.
that.
Yeah. All right. But with that question, what piece of forgotten technology would you still use if you could?
Chris, you probably do. So let's go to you.
What does that mean?
Uh,
Just because the bands I listen to are all from 2003, Dan, doesn't mean that everything else in my life is. Okay.
well, yeah, okay.
But
But
piece of forgotten technology. I do at times kind of like savor the days of when we all were just using flip phones, like
yep.
now that we're here, I feel like that was a better place in time. There's also like in our basement, we have a lot of stuff. We just have a lot of stuff. And a lot of it is like technology where you have to really get creative to figure out how to even hook it up to a modern TV, And we have like DVDs and video game systems that would operate if they could be connected to like the modern stuff, but like we've left that stuff behind, right? Like, so that's kind of where my mind goes, is like, it would be cool to just be able to fire up an N64 at a moment's notice, but like you gotta get a lot of different connector coaxial hookups to make that shit happen. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing along with like the flip phones. Like I forget what show we were watching a show recently, and it was The Crown. And
The Crown
and young Kate Middleton was sending young Will a text message, and they showed it in the scene. She's clearly using T9 technology to send this text message.
There you go.
And it was like,
Nice.
man, first of all, shouts to, remembering that, not just being like that's it. Like, no, it took a couple of clicks of each letter. But another one that I miss is like just the old school boombox, like a boombox with big speakers that could do like radio and CDs, and sometimes had the cassette player as well. Like as a kid, just like going outside, bringing the boombox down from my room, playing hockey or shooting basketball in the driveway and having the boombox down. Nowadays, kids, if they're doing something by themselves, boom, earbuds. That's it. That's all they need to have it right there. I just miss the old school, the big sound of the old school boombox, carrying it from room to room, just filling up the space rather than everything's like in your ears or you're getting sound through like your Alexa, and that's it.
Don't lose that power cord though, because then you need like 17D batteries.
Right. Yeah.
I never had enough.
True.
Oh, God. For me, it's the digital camera, and I know they're still around. I just always wonder who's buying them, because I don't see them anywhere, right? Like I see more disposable cameras than I see the digital cameras, but I miss the digital camera because now you can take 800 photos of the same thing, and it's so ridiculous that you can. Like I have a terabyte of memory on my phone. Like I just snap away. I've got the same pictures of my kids, of my friends, of whatever. There's a million different pictures, right? And especially when like someone tells you to take a picture at like some place, or like, oh, you're walking down the street, like, oh, you take a picture of us? Yeah, sweet. And they're like, oh, take like 5. You can't do that with a digital camera because you had a memory card and you had space. You didn't want someone taking 5 pictures. It's like, we got 1. Let's look at it. Okay, that's good enough. Cool. I just missed the digital camera. I felt like it was just a lot simpler, a lot easier. Then you just go home and you look at them all and stuff. You kind of forget that some stuff's there, things like that. But yeah, I miss the digital camera. I wish it was still there. I wish it was less on my phone with ridiculous amounts of memory, and it was just, another device. I'm not like everything being rolled into one is cool, but like also, I miss having separate things to do separate stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Like
that.
I miss my
That's a good
iPod
one.
too, you know?
Ooh.
I miss your iPod. I loved your iPod.
Oh, man. I miss my
R.I.P.
iPod.
R.I.P.
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 R.I.P. All right, let's get into this restaurant in Atlanta, okay? Because these two will probably tie into each other. So there's a restaurant in Atlanta that is adding a live band fee to people's bills, okay? So if you're at this restaurant, you come in, you know, it's your local spot, you know, and you go in, you eat your food, and there happens to be a band playing, then all of a sudden you get your bill and you're like, wait, what is this $10 per person charge on my bill at the end? Oh, because that person was playing pour some sugar on me. you you got to pay an extra 10, 20, 30, $40 for this thing. So guys, is this good? Is this bad? Do you agree with this live band restaurant fee? How do you feel?
This is absolute horse shit. I mean, this is unbelievable. Even if and they claim that they tell people ahead of time, right, when they make a reservation, but customers were very, had stories of the otherwise for this based on this news article that they weren't given a heads up. $10 a person is an absolute absurd amount, and they are unless they're bringing in yellow card or something like that to perform at this small restaurant. Like they are making some serious money on this at $10 a person. No local band in their right mind is charging what they would add up for over the course of an evening for live music. And how does it matter whether you have one person at a table or four people at a table? Why should it be per person? Is the volume of the music going into your ears make a difference of how much the band is worth playing? It should be based on the table, not how many people you have there. It's absolutely crazy. It's way too much. It's way $5. We can have a conversation, or like have a separate cover fee when you walk in the door. Because when it gets added to your bill, you're like, why did we order all this food, and then had to pay a fee on top of all of that? Absurd. Shame on you.
I agree with a couple things you said. It needs to be very, very clearly stated. Like people need to be you need to make sure that people understand. Like you can't just spring that on them. And like, yeah, it should be per table. It shouldn't be per person because that kind of gets weird. But okay, I read something in this article that kind of shocked me. It says a recent report from the National Restaurant Association underscores the challenges faced by the industry. 98% of operators citing higher labor costs, 97% noting increased food expenses, and 38% reporting unprofitable operations in the previous year. It makes me kind of feel bad for restaurant owners, if you're being honest with you, because like I think minimum wages have come up, and like ever since COVID, like the price of everything has come up, but like their dinners still cost the same thing. They still have to like pay everybody that works at the restaurant. So I kind of feel bad. I kind of feel bad when you put those numbers out there. And the last thing I thought was, as a former musician who played in some restaurants, among other places, I love the fact that they're trying to pay the band. Dan, how many times did we get paid?
Well,
That's
probably
the answer.
A whole zero.
That's the answer.
0 times.
Yeah, we did not get paid very much, and we played in a lot of establishments that served food. So if you're paying the bands, I think that's good. But yeah, people have to know ahead of time.
Yeah, that's one of my questions actually. I have two main questions with this. One is like, okay, can you tell me how much you're paying the band? Because you better be paying the band.
Yeah.
Because if you're putting this on there, which I have no problem with, I need you to tell me how much you're paying the band.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't care how much it is. I just need you to tell me how much you are paying the band. Because if I'm looking around the restaurant and it's a Friday night and it's just the Friday night establishment where we go at this time and I'm counting them, you better be paying the band. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
this band's walking out of here. This band's walking out of here with $5,000.
Dan, we're getting the band back together.
Yeah.
Let's go. We're going on tour.
Yeah, like I'm legitimately like counting this shit. My second one is like, okay, so this probably doesn't happen like this, but it would be funny because this couple that like posted this, like they said it was a surprise. And I wonder if they have people looking at like different tables. The cover band's playing, whatever. This is how we do it is playing. And they see them bobbing their heads, the whole table. And then they're just like, all right, they're jamming. Add it to the bill. Now, if there's people on the other side and they're just like eating their food, not jamming, like can't wait to get out, think it's too loud. Do they just like they're not having a good time? They're not listening to the band. Or if you're sitting outside, like if you're like, oh, I don't want the live band cover charge, so I'm going to sit outside tonight, right? You can't hear the live band.
I think that's the option. I think that's the option. There.
So I just wonder, do they have scouts looking at tables like, oh, those people, charge them. Those people, no, don't charge them.
I think what they should do is allow you to walk in the restaurant, listen to the band for 60 seconds. You get 1 minute to listen to the band, and then you decide, do you want to hear this band or not? And if not, you pay. I'd rather pay $10 to not listen to the band. I'm like, we'll pay $10 a person to sit elsewhere because I cannot listen to this garbage the entire time. I'm going to get nauseous. I don't want this because often there are times where bands aren't good. And you'd rather not have to sit there and suffer and listen to them. Or maybe the band should have to pay everybody. Again, Chris, tour's canceled. But we're going to tour exclusively Raising Cane's. Exclusive the Raising Cane's tour.
So that's you're essentially saying to bring back the smoking section, but for music.
Yes. Do that. But yeah, you make a good point about like costs and restaurants and things like that. But I mean, we started off this episode talking about the Outback that's closing in Akron. It's by the way, people, remember we've always asked for warnings when restaurants, stores, etc. Our favorite ones are about to be closing. Like, let us know so we can go one more time or try to save you. Outback is bleeding. Outback Steakhouse is bleeding. If you like Outback Steakhouse, you better go soon. I'm telling you right now. This is the SOS call that they are not telling you. They are closing everywhere. So get yourself one more Bloomin' Onion before they're gone.
Dan still hasn't recovered from Bed Bath & Beyond.
No. I just drove past it the other day, and it's got the sublease sign up on there now. 40,000 square feet. I'm like, who in their right mind? What retailer is taking that? Maybe we should put a Raising Cane's in there. Just make it a jumbo one. No wait. The only Raising Cane's where there's no wait. Just make it a factory. TM.
Chicken factory. A drive-through chicken factory.
That's right. The drive-through chicken factory.
Oh my God. All right. Last topic. Cam Newton got into a fight, guys. With 4 people trying to fight Cam Newton. It's a great menu this week. 4 people tried to fight Cam Newton at a 7-on-7 football tournament. Apparently everybody was talking shit to each other. I guess Cam said the wrong thing, possibly about someone's mom. Who knows? And then a fight occurs for everyone but Cam. Yeah. Because if you watch the video, Cam is just throwing people out of the way. And it looked like WWE like style. He's just literally throwing them. Just throwing people who are just running at him. And it's one of the funniest videos on the internet. Like, I think it's hysterical watching people try to fight Cam Newton and fail.
And like, he had this almost like witch hat on or something kind of odd. And like the hat didn't move an inch. And he had multiple people coming at him from multiple angle, but that thing didn't move. And he was just boom, 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 everywhere. Like, pick somebody else to jump maybe than Cam Newton. Like, this isn't a retired football player. This is a guy who very much still believes he can compete in the league and is training at that level. Maybe think twice before going after Cam Newton.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just proof that like people that fight in public are stupid, right?
Yep.
It's like why do people keep committing stupid crimes? Because they're stupid people. Why do people keep fighting in public? Because they're stupid. And why would you? Because there's no other explanation. You fight a 6'5", like 230-pound NFL athlete it's not like he's unrecognizable. Like, you know who he is. You've seen him run people over on Sundays. You're going to step to him. What?
What would you rather do? Fight Cam Newton or wear the MAGA hat?
Dude, give me the hat. Give me the hat. I'm not fighting him. Give me the hat. I'll wear the hat. I'll wear the shoes. I'm not fighting Cam Newton. There's no chance.
Yeah, put the MAGA hat on me. I am not fighting Cam Newton. I'm not fighting Cam Newton. Sorry, it's not happening. Like, give me the Trump shoes. I'll rock them all day with friggin' jean shorts. I don't even care. Like, I'm not fighting Cam Newton. Get out of here. Like, these dudes
How
are
many
so
people?
stupid.
How many people would you be comfortable with saying, all right, we have 7 people we can take Cam Newton down? Like the 3 of us plus how many people?
No, it depends on it depends on so many details of those people. Okay. Because the 3 of us plus like 4 of our good friends, we're screwed. It's not happening.
No, yeah, no way, no chance. No chance.
Yeah, like
What do we
I don't know.
Put together our roster. Let's just do it right here. Let's just
like? What are we doing? It's like okay, yeah. Like let's look at the friend groups here. It's like okay, yeah. Call up Jenkins. He may dress like Travis Kelce now after I saw that picture, but like he's not fighting Cam Newton.
Yeah, you think Sly is going to help us in this discussion? It's not going to
Oh,
help.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Come on.
Like
We could bring the neighbor boys with us and we could all get our asses kicked, or we could just wear MAGA hats.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
No, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
like like Tyler has golf clubs. I guess that might help. Maybe.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, we don't have a real great supporting cast. No offense to anybody of our close friends, but
We're lovers. We're not fighters, you know?
we're love. Yeah, we're
There
out
you
there.
go.
Yeah, we're asking for a photo with Cam. Hey, Cam, I got a BlackBerry. Can you take a photo with me real quick? This will never be deleted. I promise.
Dude, the best part about after this happening was listening to like football podcasts because they all like there's nothing to talk about. Like you're talking to sports podcasts this week. That's all anyone talked about because there's nothing to talk about. And all of them just giving their Cam Newton stories of when they were near Cam Newton. Like Mina Kimes, I think she put it on her Instagram, talked about how like she was at the Super Bowl like a few years ago and she was sitting on a bench waiting for like the media bus and all of a sudden it was like sunny out and a shadow just casts over top of her and it was Cam Newton walking by.
Oh, man. I believe it. He's huge.
Yeah, that's a big boy. No doubt.
God. Well, shouts to Cam for giving everybody material over the past week. So
Yeah.
shouts to you, Cam, and your hat. All right. Let's get into what we're listening to. Chris, what are you listening to, man?
I do have some new ones for you boys this week. All right. I found a couple bands that in true fashion have very, very low following. So if you want to get in on these guys, you could be one of the first. First band is their name is The Great American Typewriter. And I stumbled upon their EP called Collected Poems. I honestly am still trying to find out more information about this band. They, in total, have 1,400 followers on Spotify. Like, almost nobody. You can get in on the ground level of these guys. Very, very energetic, fast-paced pop punk, though. Very, very catchy. They've been putting music out, it looks like, since 2022, but I don't even know where they're from. Like, I can't even find information on these guys. So that's the first one for this week. The Great American Typewriter, their EP called Collected Poems.
Nice.
Okay.
Early. Let's get it. All right. So Ian Dior, fan of the Brunch Breakdown, or we love Ian Dior over here. He's got a new EP. He loves us. He loves.
You got
us.
it right.
Yeah, he loves us. That's right. He loves us. He's got a new EP that is out right now, and the song that I'm going to put on the playlist, I think you should go, is the song I'm going to put on the playlist right now. But it's a really good EP. I like Ian Dior a lot, so I think you guys will all like this too. So check it out.
Yeah, completely agree. And great song, great pick. No surprise here from me, boys. If you know anything about me, you know the boys are back. The boys, 21 Pilots. What?
Wait.
Okay.
This happened on International Leap Day. I want you to tell the significance of the fact that this song dropped on International Leap Day. Your holiday.
My holiday.
Your holiday.
How about
Go
that?
ahead.
How about that? Thank you.
Need to let you know.
It started to build some steam. It really did. The international holiday of Leap Day. And what do you know? We celebrate with the return of 21 Pilots, my favorite band of all time. And their brand new single called Overcompensate. Their first new music in almost 3 years. Been waiting a very, very long time, and why not put it out on an international holiday? Their new album is titled Clancy. It will be out May the 17th. And so if the 21 Pilots that you know is from their last album, Scaled and Icy, Mulberry Street and those songs, then be prepared to kind of go back to the OG sound, the more original sound of the band with Overcompensate. Very, very exciting that they're kind of taking us through this journey. A lot of 21 Pilots this week, and we're starting with the new one, Overcompensate.
Congratulations, Dan. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Big day.
Thank you.
I didn't understand in our group text. Somebody was like, "It's a big day for Dan." I was like, "What? What happened?"
Honestly, it took me a minute too.
And then, and then I went on the internet. Yeah, then I went on the internet. I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." My second one, another new band. This band their name is In Balance, not IMB. INBALANCE. In Balance. From Bakersfield, California. They remind me of another NorCal punk band, The Story So Far, in terms of their sound. Very similar. Well, not very similar, but just like some similarities as you go through their album. They have an album that came out late last year called Elements, and I'm going to put the song Lost As I Am on the playlist this week. These guys have just over 10,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. So another one. Stock is low, boys. Stock is low. Get in now.
Get in. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go with Fall Out Boy. Put out a video for my favorite song on the album. I put this on the playlist like when their album came out last year. So Much for Stardust, and the video is with Jimmy Butler, dressed hilarious. He now calls himself Heat Wince, is what he calls himself, and it is hilarious and just goofy. And I just love Jimmy Butler, and I love Fall Out Boy. And this is one of my favorite songs of last year. I love So Much for Stardust. I love that song so much. So this video just being a ridiculous video and more people listening to it because of this ridiculous video makes me happy. So shouts to Fall Out Boy. So Much for Stardust.
That's great. The video is amazing. Second one for me, I told you it's going to be all 21 Pilots for me this week. Also partly because a lot of the new music this week was fairly trash, to be honest with you. But I want to do this because I want to throw. I mentioned that the Overcompensate, the new single, sounds like the OG kind of where 21 Pilots developed their sound, and so I want to kind of give you a taste of that for anybody that really doesn't know some of the less familiar sounds and songs of 21 Pilots. So next song I'm going to put on there is called Ode to Sleep. And it's off of their album Vessel from 2013. It's crazy that the album turned 10 last year. And it's going to give you more of that style of 21 Pilots that you may not be as familiar with. So Ode to Sleep, one of my favorites. 21 Pilots.
Love that album. That's a good one. All right, my last one is from the Wonder Years. They put out a single a couple weeks ago, and I missed it. Year of the Vulture. I mean, the Wonder Years is a classic pop punk band. If you've never listened, you definitely should. And this is in anticipation of a new album coming out, which I'm very excited about. So Year of the Vulture from the Wonder Years is pick number 3.
My last one is a throwback, and because a lot of people have been talking about Jennifer Lopez. She has some weird movie on Amazon Prime that I have not watched yet, but I'm excited to watch it because I heard it's awful. And
sounds right.
I gotta put I'm Real featuring Ja Rule on the playlist this week.
The way you talk.
So shouts to Jennifer Lopez. Might be having a rough week, but you still have I'm Real featuring Ja Rule. So there you go.
True. Great point.
Okay,
last one for me. Another throwback from 21 Pilots. This one from the Blurry Face album. This is where really 21 Pilots caught a little bit of fire. I got famous off of a lot of songs off this album, but the one that really didn't get too popular with most of the world is Lane Boy. And I'm going to put Lane Boy. They say stay in your lane, boy. A wonderful little track, little tune, like last week's little tune called Lane Boy from 21 Pilots off of Blurry Face from 2015.
Legit. Well, that's the sounds of Brunch. Make sure you check it out on Spotify. Tell Siri, tell Alexa to play the sounds of Brunch. Boys, coming to the end of a great episode. Any final thoughts?
Blackberry Brunch, Outback brunch, Trump shoes brunch,
Oof.
MAGA hat brunch.
There's a lot of ways you can go.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the title of this one. I don't know what you're
A
gonna
lot,
do.
yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I love. There's nowhere else in the world you can get this content. Save Outback Steakhouse while you can, and always remember you can skip on Dee Dee's face.
It's the brunch breakdown. Screw all of you.